Call this meeting to order at 4:14.
So, we were only allowed to do 7,500 as the max on our, applications this year. And so I think we got some applications that they would have never asked, 2 of them would not have asked for that much on some things. This year is special, the only year we've ever been part, and that is our World Cup. We have, ability to, really help a lot of our business owners and our here by having our marketing done correctly. 7,500 for us is not gonna go very far. Because we need to be doing marketing right now. But starting January, February, March, we definitely need to be there. We know that already that the 50% of the and sorry, you can't, I don't know if there's a way to put those down. Are you sure?
You're getting your tip.
Nicole, is there a way to put that down?
No, I'm fine, I really am.
No, you're squinting and you're not
I'm
fine.
so excited about the classes that.
I was noticing
Continue.
that, Richard, yeah.
A little bit further down. No, this one. Yeah, it's that one. All right, there you go. Okay. So, we know that 50% of the tickets were already given away for corporate. So we really need to be targeting those corporations to be able to get people out here. We already know that, we've started on some other campaigns. So one of the things that we're doing, because we didn't have money, was creating a 1-pager that will be, responsible to go into, so all hotels hopefully will know by January if they're gonna, it's gonna be a law during the time that is happening through King County, that we have a 5-page, 5 items, 1, call 911 in case of emergency, because people know that, but we just need to make sure that's on there. Respect the lands from the ancestral land movement. We have the water's cold, so don't jump in, and because you could get really hurt, and you'd laugh, but it's really cold. And then our hiking is the other one, and also carry your 10 essentials. The hiking one goes in with also the animals, so it's the cougars and the bears. So these people are coming from warmer climates that have never witnessed here, and so we've been working with the East Side. What is it called? Not fire and rescue. East Side. Search and rescue. And this is that we've all come up with these ideas. That is our only form of marketing for all of these people to come up here. That's it. There is no other marketing that's happening. We could see potentially 300,000 to 400,000 people up here, and it is in between June and July. So we've got 6 games. Everybody around us has LTAC funds, and they are strategically marketing themselves like crazy. We will be the only location, and we know that we will see the most people up here, but we have to be able to market to get them to go to our other locations and give money back into our economy. If we do not, they're going to do exactly what we're happening right now, is they're going to go to Mount Si, go to Rattlesnake, and then go back to their wherever they're staying. If we have the opportunity to advertise correctly and do really good marketing, which we have a great company that will do over the top marketing right now starting in January, for all those companies that have already given their tickets, we can market those guys. We have the ability now to do that. We can do 7,500, but I'm telling you that to bring the biggest bang for the buck, we need to think about this and consider putting more money into it. We are not taking any funds. It'll all go into marketing. It is not, we will do this as a chamber. All of our time and also our people will donate their time as well. So looking at it, all of these that are in here, these are, except for Richards has more than 1 day, does not do the purpose. And I'm a little nervous about the downtown foundation, the downtown Snoqualmie. We haven't, they don't have, this is not enough money for them to keep their website current, to do all the marketing either for what they're trying to do. And that only goes for just downtown, not for the rest of it. And our businesses up on the ridge are hurting so badly. We've got to be able to help them, and none of this is not gonna to be that, so. They have the ability to go and get sponsorships for this, we do not. They are a nonprofit 501c3.
Did you guys get a grant, a $20,000 grant?
We got a $10,000 grant that has to be used before December 27th,
Okay.
and it doesn't make sense. So, and it has to be an event. Does not make sense, does it? So anyway, in order to help to have our people here that are gonna be using our hotels, that are going to be, that what the LPAC is for. I just encourage you to look at these and understand that some of these requests they're awesome, and in a normal year, we would say 100%. But just look at it as what is going to be the best for Snoqualmie over the next couple of months, and what are we gonna do for this World Cup? There's no other funds anywhere else to get this. So, and we're gonna lose out to a lot of different places if we don't. So that's my spiel.
I don't know how to respond until I see the context, so that's, hold on.
So let's go by one. Shall we do that? Which one? Which one's first?
Well, the first one in the packet is for Snoqualmie Days, filed by Dory Ross on behalf of Snoqualmie Days, which is being now hosted by the Downtown Merchants Association.
And before it was by the
Railways.
by the railways. So,
It's a better fit for them to manage this. They had a lot of really good and strong views on how the event should be, and it is primarily held in downtown, so we supported them taking this over. We still support the event. The Railway Museum does the parade, and we do other, we host the website and do other infrastructure support for the event, but this is primarily the downtown merchants that's running the event.
so this will be their first time.
No, it's their third time.
Second time, Richard.
Second
This will be
time?
their second.
Oh, second time, okay.
And there was a decline in people coming this year. We saw more people at the International Flag Party. We saw 4,000 people up there. Things are changing a little bit, and so there's ability. How much did they make in sponsorships?
I know
quite a
that
bit.
they didn't lose money.
Yeah.
It was an extremely hot heat advisory weekend, but I am hearing from people across, well, not just the valley, but all over, but that festivals in
Oh,
general
yeah.
are down.
This is.
I think that
Salmon
the
Days.
world has
Everything's
changed,
down.
people are looking for
Oh,
experiences, yeah. Let me just pause for a minute and just state for the record, I think everyone is aware, but the only funding that we're getting now is from Snoqualmie, and we're not getting
Mhm.
anything from Salish Lodge or the casino. The last time we did funding in 2023, we had $150,000, so we literally have $30,000. We didn't do funding last year because the Salish stopped paying LTAC in 2023, and we committed with contracts to everybody for 2024.
Thinking that they were gonna.
So we basically kind of had to pay ourselves back and put the money back into the account. So that is why the amount is $30,000, and it was interesting sitting down with Jana and our budget manager. It was almost to the penny.
Geez, it couldn't be more.
No, Lori,
You did your
you've done great,
best.
you've done great work. So
And
this
again,
is not
this
an
is-
apology.
And this is not against.
I just wanted
our
for the
other
record to
events at
understand.
all.
Yeah,
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 This
it's
is,
not.
this is not against our other events. This is strictly, we are into something that is different than we've ever witnessed. So it is just something that there's no other.
It's a very unfortunate time for us, specific time for us to have lost LTAC funding, but
Yes.
Yeah.
having lost that funding is been, as you two and your organizations know, it has been extremely difficult to find ways to recoup that money.
A weird question.
There's no weird questions here.
It may appear weird. Snoqualmie lights.
Right.
How much money have you got unspent?
Well, in the past I would apply for funding, but I haven't applied
Yeah.
for funding. But how much did I get for this? I anticipated this and I asked for money in the city budget to be able to cover the cost of that event and lighting.
Okay.
Yeah. I received $35,000 and I will probably spend it all this year.
Well, that's good. How much haven't you spent yet?
On the Snoqualmie Winter Lights budget,
Would the chamber donate $10,000 to Snoqualmie Lights? And the Snoqualmie do $10,000 to the chamber for marketing. Seeing as you've got grant money that you can't spend. And Snoqualmie Lights happens before December 27th.
I see where you're going. I mean, I think you have the,
I could ask.
well, that is an interesting, sometimes it's the shell game. But just know that I do support things with the chamber and other things even.
No, but
with
like,
that
what they're
budget,
saying
but-
is like, so that funds came from King County. And so I would just have to, okay, that maybe that would be the opportunity and we could put
So
soccer
then
balls.
would you say
at
the
the
$10,000
lighting.
then
We could put
you're
soccer
saying
balls out for the light.
give it to?
Well, I mean.
Can't say gift.
That, I'm not.
Never say
So
gift.
you're saying
Oh,
I
that's.
would say that we
happening
would
is
take that
we were having
$10,000, add it to the.
Somewhere
LTAC,
out of
add
my
it to the
event budget.
LTAC fund.
that's a budget question. I mean, I could.
Well, it's a King County question, so I just gotta find out.
One, it's a King County question, if it's okay for you to sponsor winter lights at Snoqualmie
Mhm.
with this money.
Yeah.
Two, it's a question internally of, can we take that funding you have, put it into the LTAC fund, in addition to the LTAC taxes we get, or some other mechanism, and put it toward marketing. That's a way of
think
generating
The
some
cleaner
money
way,
out of
the
this.
cleaner way to do it would not be to transfer to the LTAC account. It would be for the Snoqualmie Lights in my event budget to
Sponsor.
with sponsors of which I pay bills all off and with that money, so.
And since we're in the public record, I'm sure that we would all make sure that we were looking for any restrictions in any of the grant funding. Stuff plantation or anything
Yeah.
like that, which is sometimes buried in the fine print.
Well, only thing that would have to be was that we would have to put soccer balls and do an international, like mention the World Cup coming, because it's all in, it's getting ready for the World Cup is what that money's for. So we were planning on having a December 5th draw party that in Snoqualmie Falls Brewery, so all the different places, so people can get excited for the drawing. That's where that money's supposed to go to.
Oh, I see.
But we can see if we did it through the lighting, so that the next day, it's just the next day. So it's December 6th is when that starts. So it could potentially be like we hide soccer balls with gold things on them, and I can get, I could get people to donate stuff. And we can use
Right.
that.
Be careful, whatever money goes this way has to offset some costs.
Yeah, but it would,
So
but that
that
would.
can make
it-
the money available.
But it could, so we could do the stage, we could pay for the stage.
Okay.
Because that way, it would also, there's some things that we could, let's talk about it. Let me find out so there are some abilities to, I think, work on it and see.
All I'll say is timelines in the city, thank you. We are on a very strict timeline with legal. I mean, I am happy to extend this, but the goal and the very strict timeline we're on right now is to allow us to take this to council, the only meeting in December, to allow these organizations to know when they start 2026 that they have this funding in place.
Right, but this
Yeah.
conversation doesn't affect any of the LTAC stuff.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a separate conversation.
It's a separate
yeah.
conversation.
Doesn't
Separate
matter,
conversation. Okay, you're right, because if we're not mingling
Yeah.
We're not mingling.
Mhm.
LTAC money, it would be
Mhm.
my budget. Yeah.
If you were asking me to steal from one of these other ones, I'd think, oh, good.
But they're more, no,
Okay.
you know what we've done in the past.
Do something else to make money.
We've done that in the past is we reduced how much people got, like we've done that many times. So when we've done events, so the 7,500, normally they would not ask for that much because
That's
it's a
not,
lot of money.
Richard usually got
That was what-
$7,000.
That's what.
Well, you've asked for 15,000 before in the past, and we also got 10,000,
Years
down to
seven.
8 or 7, yeah.
I just feel this is I just feel like I have to say on the record too, like, there are some things that I'm waiting to get some grant money from the port to do World Cup marketing. There's other things that I'll be doing, so there is gonna be an effort, not some of the same things that we
Yes.
talked about, but I also believe that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for us to be able to activate this area with tourism, with World Cup, absolutely. But we also have a community that has traditions and things that they like to do, and so, or do things that the visitors for the World Cup can partake in. So I just wanna say, I think we have to be mindful, and I know I'm not a voting member of this commission, but we have to be mindful of kind of keeping things going that normally go and
Yeah.
not to deviate from that
But we
because of
also-
World Cup.
But we also have to be careful too on some of these prices are high. And we don't have, it's just for, like, we're giving $15,000 to downtown Snoqualmie.
But we haven't yet.
No, but I mean, if we do, you think about that, and that's just gonna be for downtown, and so it's gonna be questioned, and I know it is. I can already see what is gonna happen.
Understand the concerns that you have generally about funding the last 9 months. In particular, running a nonprofit myself, have been terrifying. We've seen
Yeah.
entire grant programs.
All of a sudden.
Cut in, you know, in the middle of the night
Yeah.
because somebody had a tantrum.
Yeah.
And it's had a direct effect on us. So I understand where you are, but I feel that all of these are solid applications. They all deserve to be considered and deliberated. So I think we should just go through them one at a time without prejudice and value them as we have in the past with our informal scoring. And if we feel that there's something that doesn't meet the criteria that have been set for lodging tax funds, then that's a reason for disqualifying them. And if we feel that secondarily, if the request is out of either too high or too low for what they're proposing to do, that's also a discussion. That's how we've always done this in the past.
Well, but we were limited to how much money we could ask for. And so that was the
It's not
the
the first time
caveat.
that's happened. It's been limited in the past. Before the number grew somewhat over time, and there used to be a cap on it in the past. That's years ago. But
Well, I just know.
Let me tell you the staff reason of why we did this was looking at the people that organizations that typically apply for money. We wanted to create an opportunity where everybody could get a piece of the pie. The pie is very small. Had I not done this and not given any guidelines, it's very possible that you guys would have asked for 15 for the chamber, or Richard would have asked for 15 for the chamber. And then we would have been sitting here slicing and dicing, so it created an opportunity for everybody to, so I agree, I just wanted to know that was the methodology of why we came up with that, another city would do that.
I understand that.
we understand, and we, with intentionality, only made one request.
And that's what we did too,
Because
but we
of,
had
right.
2 requests from one place.
But I think,
That's fine, we can talk about that when we
Yeah,
get to
right,
that.
Yeah.
but I think, Richard, you make a
Yeah.
good point. You as a group have often shifted some monies around.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
there is that, even though we said 7,500, I mean, people have asked for 10 and have only been given 2.
Yes,
So you could do that and shift
Yeah.
things around in your
You've
discussions,
even been so gracious as to take cuts in the past as well.
Yeah.
right?
you very gracious.
Right.
But I'm just saying too, that
Yeah.
we, if I had, I could have put another grant in here, but I didn't because I felt like I needed to, because I felt like we couldn't. I felt like it was just one per organization as well. So I'm just putting that out there. So
There's also organizations that have typically gotten funding that received the application that I did not receive applications from, and it was a bit surprising. And there was another organization that reached out after the deadline, that it would have never even been on my radar to have specifically sent it, although doing press releases and doing, information, I think people need to be conscious of this.
Yeah.
And this organization, I think now will be conscious of the deadline and will look for it in the future.
Yeah. And again, I'm not against any of these, just so you know, I'm not against. I just wanted to put that out there because it was just unfortunate and our optics too, I don't want to look bad on the ridge.
Well, be careful. Cause as a separate issue, that issue, I would ask, why is this downtown Snoqualmie year round versus Snoqualmie year round? And why aren't we applying a condition to this that says you're gonna get a trifold flyer of all the merchants, restaurants, whatever. And as part of this money, you need to make that available to the participants for what you're doing. That would hit you mostly, because that would be Snoqualmie Days and the wine train. These other ones necessarily aren't. They're marketing versus an actual event or anything else. Would you have an objection to a flyer saying here are the Snoqualmie merchants? To include downtown and the Ridge?
I kind of do that, Councilmember Holloway, with the kiosk downtown. We do have a directory that lists the downtown merchants and then the Ridge.
That can be finessed.
I'm just saying, I have an ability,
As a flyer.
I do have a rack card that I do make available, yes.
Okay.
So, and I have ability to, finesse that program and do more.
Cause I do hear the concern, but it's a separate from this shortness on the marketing issue. And so how to deal with that is something
Right.
you suppose.
Just so you know, that sometimes I have options to shuffle things around, and depending on the grants I get, I can, hear the feedback and, do some of the things.
I already have people up on the ridge that have complained, like you cannot imagine that downtown gets more money than they do. And so I'm just cautioning you on this. It looks like it would be very heavy and it.
Yeah, I think it's really great that you're, making us all aware of this, and I just, think that we have it's a very weird committee that we have here, because all the people on the committee in some way have some sort of conflict of interest. In putting money into it or taking money out of it or whatever else, but strangely, this is the way the state legislation was written.
Yeah.
And, but here we are, and so we have to work really hard to put that conflict of interest aside and try to really look at this. And I really respect what you're trying to do, Kelly, and I think you're doing great work in the community. But I really, Councilmember Holloway, I think we have to just look at these applications the way they're presented. And if we don't feel that they meet the criteria, then we can elect to not recommend they not be funded. We can recommend a different level of funding. We can also recommend that there's changes in it, but I don't think it's fair to change the rules after.
No,
After the
No,
fact.
I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm looking for alternatives, 'cause I'm changing the rules after the fact, no, that's not fair.
Yeah.
And presumably the group, different groups on Snoqualmie Ridge had the same opportunity to apply as anyone
well,
else.
but they say they don't, because they don't have a 501c3. So they're just saying,
Nothing preventing.
Anybody can apply.
no, you can't.
I mean, not anybody, but
You don't have to be a 501c3 for this, you just have to be an organization.
There's not, well, the city runs the organization.
Well, but the point is, like, in looking at last time's applications, the Line, which was an organization that does bike rentals at Snoqualmie Point Park, they're not a nonprofit, they applied, they didn't get funding, not because they have their status, I sent this to the soccer association that does the 2 big soccer tournaments, they could have, they activate a lot in 2 weekends of the summer, they chose not to apply, but I think Richard's point is correct, or, Kelly, we could have done an application for the International Block Party.
Yeah,
which
no,
would have directly
we're probably not gonna have the International Block Party because there's no funding. So, and I would have put that in here had I known, because that has a lot of people that, but
Okay, well, and that's unfortunate, but we only have one purpose here, and that's to review these applications.
So-
But I would humbly suggest that as somebody who writes grant applications, it would be really great if there could be 2 months' notice, because that is a very typical time horizon, so that you can do your research, make sure that you're putting together a quality application, that you're able to potentially find people to collaborate, that you get your partnerships together. Because it's not just about doing the writing. The writing's easy, but it's there might have been an opportunity, for instance, for Kelly or the downtown merchants or whatever to collaborate with somebody else. That could even be in the guidelines. We, the city of Snoqualmie, strongly recommend that applicants collaborate with different partnerships to expand the reach of the benefit of the funding for all the citizens of.
And we might
Snoqualmie.
definitely
Thank you.
carry forward, that would be a really great.
I will put that in the notes for next year and.
That would be a great
You're
ad.
doing an awesome job, please, it's not.
No, but we lost
It's not
funding, so
intended
it's
to
not
be
your,
like-
it's not your
No,
fault.
it's a fair statement,
Yeah.
you know, that the short timeline was based on a lot of factors, not knowing how much money we had.
Yes,
Busy summer, trying to meet these deadlines internally of getting documents through all the different departments and to council, you know, so.
But we do this at the same time.
no,
This is
Every
typical.
year, don't
Well,
Yeah, I
it's
mean-
been funky for 5 years with
Yes.
COVID, it's been different, but historically, that's what I was trying to do, was to get us back on track. So that it would be at this time of the year, and again, the end goal is to get you the money at the end of the year, the decisions that you can know as you go into the first year, so then I have to back that up with council. So that's what, you know, that's what triggers a lot of this, so I think that's fair statement, Richard, and I will definitely do that for next year.
that's great.
I don't know if 2 months was
This was our
for sure, I
busy-
know it's 2 weeks, but even a month.
This was our
Yeah.
busy, all the grants were due at one
Yeah,
time.
well, even a month would be better, 6 weeks would be
6 weeks.
preferably,
Okay.
but 2 months is ideal. And again, it's because this grant in particular would benefit from collaboration between different organizations. Or, you know, depending, I mean, I'm gonna defend my own application, we're doing something new and unique that could bring a lot of benefit to the community. Well, it's relatively new and it needs the push to take it up, so everything should stand on its own, but I think that typically, like Snoqualmie Days, I hope in the future, Snoqualmie Days is a collaboration of a lot of different organizations, and while it could be hosted downtown, continue to be hosted downtown, I hope that we find a way to meaningfully pull in organizations based on the ridge, whether it's the merchants or the school, whatever. It's, it can be more than it already is, and I know how challenging that is because it was
You
my
ran it.
team managing that,
Mhm.
and it is challenging, but be that as it may.
All right, do you wanna go back to evaluating
Yes.
the downtown merchant with Snoqualmie Days? And the ask is in the realm of what was typically asked. Getting a little dark. Okay. Turn lights on. That's.
That's all, this one, that these don't come on?
They should, but for some reason they're not. That's odd. We're here till it's dark, that's the problem, so. The Zoom link's only good for 2 hours too.
The lion's share of the application is for requesting support for, sorry, the lion's share of the request is to support live music. Live music is very expensive.
Yeah. That our residents are looking for more, not just that kind of music, they want the stage open for the residents.
What do you mean?
Like they do at Morgan, Blackburn, where they have the residents come in and dance and do all that other stuff. We
What do
do,
you mean?
like,
Like in the front of the stage?
so like, Mount Sinai Senior Center, their jazzercise comes out and does a performance. Cascade Voice wants to come and do all of their performances, Big Star, which is Northwest, I don't know what the name is now, wants to come down and do it. So there's quite a few of them that want to, they don't want the music that has been the cost as per se, they want it to be a actual community,
Yeah, but you've gotta have a mix. You
Yeah,
can't just have,
but not,
I mean, cause the block party has the mix. We have the music, but then we also have the community stuff.
yeah, so we don't have the community part.
Well, that's what I'm saying, we can incorporate it
Yeah,
in,
but
so
it's
it's not,
that's what, when he was saying about the music, it shouldn't be that high.
I mean, we spend for block party, we spend, it's.
Yeah, but yours is different, yours is like all throughout the night. This is not it.
Well, this, in their defense, I know, because I know they're not here to speak up for themselves. I know that we started a trend of some of the things that we're committed to, including bringing the bagpipes. So the bagpipes
Yes.
that are in the parade, they have to be paid for.
These come out of this,
Yes, it comes.
they pay for it, not you.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. And then there was the different groups that performed, whether it was solo musicians or the groups, and then there was the crawl on the Friday night, the solo musicians that performed in the pubs and so forth. This has been something that when I ran the event, I wrang my hands over this every year. It's a horrendous amount of money, but musicians have to eat too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But there's a full culture grant that will pay for that.
If you can get it.
Yes.
It's the community festivals are not in that absolute category where it's easy to get funding, but
So it is, we just got, because last year we got $8,000 to put the international block party on. And it was very simple, and they were looking for events like this to get that funding, so they're, for the cultural part of it aspect too, it's just work, and I know Dory's one person, so that's the other thing too.
well, we don't have to fund it at the levels that they've requested. But I'll offer up that it is our an event that the city and the community has held for more than 80 years, and has been part of our community identity, even though we're not managing it and hosting it anymore. We'd certainly like to see it continue, and hope that there should be some support from the city, just as we are providing support as the Railway Museum to help ensure that this event happens. We hope that it can be more than one day in the future, but that decision is made by other people, not by the event organizers per se. And I guess that's all I have to say, but I'll certainly support funding for them. I'm open to discuss whether 7,500 is the correct level or not, but I also note that the requests equal the available funding right now, so.
Matter of fact, you're short funding right now, aren't you? Your activity budget is 25,000, you get 750 for this. And you've got 10,000 of sponsorship, you're still short 7,500.
No, I apologize. I meant that there's $30,000 in lodging tax funding and there's $30,000 worth of requests.
Oh.
Yeah.
Please, I'm back to evaluating Snoqualmie.
Yes, yeah, but I'm sorry.
I'm trying to do it.
Yeah.
Going. I'm. And I don't hear you suggesting that Snoqualmie Days can volunteer to reduce.
I'm not taking, I haven't,
He's no longer in charge of Snoqualmie.
I'm not running Snoqualmie Days. I'm supporting it. We contributed to it and in-kind services this year. We ran the parade. And we provided the sound system for the parade, and we did some other incidentals, including hosting the website. I'm saying that I support, as a member of this committee, I support funding for Snoqualmie Days to continue.
Yeah.
And would certainly understand there may want to be a discussion about the level of funding. But they've requested the maximum amount, 7,500, and it makes sense to me. They're asking for support for the marketing and promotion. And live music.
Is there a way that we can combine their two requests?
Well, if you combine their two requests, you're just combining. the-
Well, I understand, but I mean, I'm just for the looks of it, when we go into city council, is there a way instead, because we're gonna fund them twice. And so I just wanna
We don't
make
For
sure,
two separate things,
yeah,
for Snoqualmie Days and for marketing downtown.
Yeah.
I had no problem.
okay, just wanna make sure.
Well, I mean, think about it. Think about how many times the railroad and the chamber has asked for multiple.
Yeah.
Multiple.
I know, it just,
Yeah.
this year is just a little different than we
It is
ever
a
had.
little different, but it also, from the outside,
You'll be talking a lot.
it looks,
I can do that.
Good, Brian.
these are the only ones that always get everything. You know what I'm saying?
They did, yeah, they
Which is
did the bulk of it.
obviously because,
They're tourism drivers.
yeah, they're tourism drivers.
I guess sometimes my role here is maybe just provide context at times with my role. This is the liaising that I do with my liaison. You know, Snoqualmie Days, I think there still needs to be some evaluation of that event. I don't think it's going away, but it's very possible that event can turn on its head. What was really popular for that event was the Friday night music crawl. And
And the
there's-
parade.
and the parade, but the Friday night music crawl, there is cost to that. So I'm just saying, let's say radically, that event becomes a Friday night music crawl and a night parade. I'm saying radical, right? That this money could still be applicable to the cost of that and make that a successful Snoqualmie Day. So I'm just saying, you know, if you granted that money, there's still an opportunity for this committee to decide what's the best path forward. And then at the end of the day, even more radical, what if they didn't have the event? Then they don't spend the money and it comes back to the account. You know, so. Just know that.
You're saying Snoqualmie Days becomes Snoqualmie Night?
I don't know.
It could.
It's the trend in this area and in the country has festivals and things like typically with vendor booths and that kind of thing. Are just not working out.
People want.
They're not making
they're more
money.
experiential.
They're not making money,
Yeah,
yeah,
Some
so.
people don't have money to spend, so.
Yeah.
Or their garage is already full of kitchen, they've got nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
So I'm just.
I mean, either way, the music portion is not going away.
Exactly.
So the music,
This is.
this is, yeah,
Music and marketing.
yeah, I mean, the music's not gonna go away. So, I mean, I think at the least. I would want to fund the music portion. I mean, if not the whole thing, but I mean,
So, yes, is any member of the board recommending a reduction in the funding limit?
I recommend a reduction of funding on this one,
To what?
5,000.
What do you two say?
I would want to do the full amount for the first Snoqualmie Days.
I've just haven't personally experienced how difficult it is to fund this event, and I had the luxury of having a considerably larger organization in the downtown merchants, with which to bury costs that I couldn't make back elsewhere. And, they don't have that luxury. On the other hand, they're better connected for convincing some of their fellow businesses to, you know, to do
Sponsor.
sponsorships, which, they consistently gave me a big flat no to. So I don't,
This is true.
you know, I don't. You know, I can't know what goes on behind, their closed doors in terms of how they're gonna fund it, and, I just feel strongly that the event should continue. I agree that it should evolve. And I don't want us to be the part of the reason why it's not successful. It was their first year, it was very challenging. I know, I had a number of conversations with Dory as she was ramping up to it, and I wish I could have given her more support and spent more time with her, but I had my hands full with my own problems this year. Challenges, excuse me, and had to deal with those first, so I'm not gonna say no to a reduction in funding, but I think that they could use the 7,500, and I know that's not what Kelly wants to hear me say, but
No, it's not,
But you're not saying yes.
Huh?
You're not saying yes either.
I'm not saying yes to reducing. Now, okay, $7,500 is no, I realize that there's not a lot of money in this fund. The reality is everything's so much more expensive now. And $7,500 isn't gonna go anywhere near as far as it went 5 years ago before the pandemic. And I know this is still gonna be a challenge for them.
And I mean, we're all, you know, nonprofit, so we know how hard it is to get sponsorships.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we know it's been harder and harder, just due to economic reasons,
Well, I mean,
but.
North Bend's not getting a lot in LTAC with.
No,
We don't get all that.
And well, there's minuscule,
Yeah.
you know, for
No,
the
there's
hotels.
people, the hotels, the people live there more than 30 days.
No,
so that's
I mean, that's what I'm saying, they get a minuscule amount, which, I mean,
That's what I'm saying, like, we
the
don't,
valley has been just
Yeah.
really hit with, that we don't have the hotels, and the ones that we do have, we don't have access to those funds.
yeah,
So it's quite the conundrum, and I mean, that's one of the reasons, like, I do my events just with my budget, and I don't go after sponsorship dollars, because there's too many other nonprofits in this area that need to go and knock on those doors.
well, yeah, and that's why I would be in favor of funding the whole 7,500, because obviously in North Bend, we don't have LTAC funds, so we're just scraping and trying to get, it's hard,
Yeah,
you know? And it's certainly not gonna get.
So I'm
any easier,
amendable to
but-
stay at 7,500, but when it comes to their marketing part,
That's the
I'm-
different.
It's
It's
a,
a
it's
different
we're
animal,
gonna
yeah.
go one at a time. Alright, so that one goes at 75. Right,
Do we wanna consider any, sorry, it's your meeting, Rob. I thought I was.
I'm being me, sorry.
Well, and then I was gonna suggest that we then consider, are there any stipulations we wanna recommend for the funding, or changes in the way they're requesting it? I believe that's within our authority to suggest, to make suggestions. Is that something we wanna?
well. So. Again, the people want. And we can't tell them that though. People want more community. In that. But that's not something that we can put in this application.
We can't,
But isn't, those people need to talk to Snoqualmie Days.
Yes.
People to voice
But
that.
it hasn't, but no,
There's no venue here for it.
there's a reason why, because there's somebody that's in charge of music that that's his job, is to do the music. So it's not his job to bring the community thing together.
Yeah, but there's a way to have music and have
I know,
community.
I know.
It's really simple.
It's
not
harder work
hard.
on him because it's like every time somebody comes in and changes the set, like all these people, it's really complicated.
Yeah, but most of the, I mean,
So could we tell them that it needs to be more community? It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
We're looking for community involvement and I would say marketing components to what you're doing. I wouldn't, again, changing the rules at this stage.
Yeah.
I would, maybe that's something we put in for next one, show us your components. But express a desire now to say, we'd like you to have components of community involvement and greater community engagement.
Not
But not-
engagement, community
participation.
participation.
So I said community, I did two things, community involvement, which is participation.
Yeah.
But also community marketing, I'm looking how an event downtown or event up on the ridge can cross pollinate each other. That's why I was like, trifold, if nothing else, just like, here are all the restaurants in Snoqualmie. And take it home and later on you'll think about it. But I'm in the deep end of the pool, my ladies, and I shouldn't be there. But I don't wanna change the rules, we just say, we're looking for components of community engagement. And broader community marketing. But here's your money. And next year, maybe we put it in, you have to have some component of this. Yes,
So
no?
I believe it's completely within the right of the city to make those kinds of stipulations in the funding. If you wanna make it more focused, you can say if you're doing a festival that has to have these characteristics to be but
Yeah, I just wanted to do it up front,
yeah, exactly, out
Yeah.
front, not after the fact.
yeah, not after the fact.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make it not a condition or a suggestion that here's the LTAC money, might we suggest that you really take a deep dive on this event
Reach out to
And-
Big Star.
and really ask like what's successful, what's not, what's worth it, what's not.
And because those things, those things, they just wanna come and they wanna do their thing, it's not like you're paying them for it,
Right.
So.
I think that this committee, which unfortunately through lots of different things became a couple of people, one person, I mean, I think it was a lot. And I think that there's desire to do a deep dive on what happened, or not what, yeah.
I just do a deep dive on this event and how do we move forward? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they don't get funding, but maybe
Yeah.
just a suggestion of really take the time to
Yeah.
evaluate this event.
Everybody
And if that
has to
means
know.
knocking it on its head, you knock it
Yeah,
on its
I
head.
agree.
You know, and we don't know the people that are key to this event. Life happens, things can change with those people, so, you know.
And that's another thing I'm really worried about.
Well, wait, don't we just notice that here, but,
Okay, yes,
Coming back to
that
you.
doesn't belong, in the meeting right now.
No,
no,
With due respect, I think, I think we need to move on, and I recommend that we,
We do it, so,
recommend this, $7,500, because I don't.
you get a vote, I forget. Do you have a vote or do they have? a vote?
no, he has to take it to the.
No, I get that, but you don't get a vote
I
here.
don't get a vote.
So basically, we have
It's
two.
better if I don't get a vote, cause there's 3.
Yes.
If I'm in the middle, it's 4, we could
Yeah,
tie.
so we have 2 at 75 and 1 at 5, so I would say this one is.
Well, I think I change it.
Okay, so fully funded,
Pass
so
it.
fully funded, so
I'm just checking.
next. Next is World Cup marketing for the chamber.
Well, I think this is all pretty straightforward and well explained, and I think in the interest of time, we just recommend, full funding for this unless, anyone else feels there should be, a more thorough, discussion.
No, I'm all in for full funding.
I have to.
Oh, she abstains, yeah, okay. All right. Next. Next is the wine train. Everyone, what's a wine train?
I'm gonna help you with those ones.
Yeah, everyone loves wanted, everyone loves trainings.
Richard, can you give me just the elevator speech on this one? I didn't read it, like,
Well, I can give you the elevator
Different
speech, and I'm
here.
just wondering if that's giving me an unfair advantage over any of the other applications, though, because no one else has had an opportunity.
to give the elevator speech, I guess I could read.
I'm sorry.
I don't get a vote, so it doesn't.
It is public record, I'm trying to be.
No, but I think you can still do elevator speech, it's when the vote comes, you should probably abstain.
Yeah.
And if they disagree, then I.
So, because are you doing something more, less or different with this? Cause I know you're.
We're trying to. We're trying to raise the bar. We want this to be, exclusive is the wrong term. We want it to be more inclusive, but I mean, we want it to be a
Experience.
more unique experience. The wineries that are succeeding in. I don't live too far from Winery Row in Woodinville, unfortunately. And I will say that, the wineries that appear to be more successful are the ones that are offering the more unique. Curated experiences that's a nicer experience. The ones that are teetering are, thinking that they can just slosh some red stuff into a glass and serve it, and people should come and pay money for that, and that's not working, and what is it, 400 wineries in Woodinville, I think? And there's a.
They're all 312 right now.
312.
There's so many that
The
just.
wine industry is
And-
having a hard time too.
Yeah, well, they're oversaturated.
Oversaturated, yeah.
And this is something where we can play a role in particular in helping, in fairness, not just Snoqualmie, but North Bend wineries, because we're a valley organization. That we all succeed in this together, or we fail together. That we can help spotlight the wineries and potentially the brewery as well, breweries, excuse me. Because we're open to doing beer along with it as well.
What about
right
like a
now-
mocktail for the person who?
That's
Right,
coming,
and
that's
in
coming.
fact, we already did that the last several.
We have a vote for Dr. Pepper float over here. I'm gonna jazz it up a little bit and call it a float,
Okay.
since you just drink Dr. Pepper every day.
We-
So do I.
We did that for 2 of the events that we did this year, where there is a plethora of non-alcoholic beverage choices that are included in unlimited quantities gratis for anyone, whether they're drinking wine.
Safe
or-
drivers.
Safe drivers, but also just so the people that are drinking the wine don't get snookered on a few, an empty stomach and a few ounces of wine, which is very possible if you haven't had anything to drink or eat. And then we're working with some of the restaurants in Snoqualmie to get higher quality.
Quality.
Quality that to serve at the event. It's not a dinner train, it's just a
Appetizer.
heavy hors d'oeuvre appetizer type arrangement. And then focusing on typically on Snoqualmie Valley wineries, but we have invited some other wineries that we tried this year. We want to continue that tradition. For instance, we had on Juneteenth, we had a black owned winery from
Oh, that's great.
served wine from did I think they were in? I didn't arrange it, I'm sorry. So that trying to do little things, it doesn't mean that we can't bring in, but we want it to be a Upper Valley centric experience that we become better known for.
And that day is actually turning into a very busy day in town because a lot of people have the day off, so way to capitalize on that, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Job.
Yeah, and this year we're gonna try a Halloween, so that's tomorrow. It's a Halloween wine train, so we're already trying to do this, but the idea of the funding support is to allow us to take it to the next level. Both for marketing and the content.
Well, you kind of have your kid market with your Thomas thing, and then you can do
Yeah,
get into the adult market.
Yeah.
And I'll vouch for the fact that already we know it's a very different audience than we bring in for any of the other events. So
Cool. It is long.
so that's still like the elevator speech.
I vote for full funding.
I do as well.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right.
We did not serve the food, and I got vouchers for a free ride up to the Snoqualmie end.
Yeah.
Her shuttle can meet
Oh, yeah,
downtown
the
and
shuttle
they come up there.
Yeah, come in.
I have a big issue with this next one. And I'll tell you, I can tell you why, going to this, are we down?
Yeah.
Okay, we have
Okay,
tried,
can we just do a elevator snapshot then of what the next one is?
yeah,
Yeah, what is it?
so it's not me, it's they're asking for marketing funding for downtown. We know for a fact, you have to have events to market these guys. And the funding that they're asking, it's not there, it's not the whole thing that you read on it. They do not have time for events. Putting this much money into downtown where they already have a lot of the stuff that they already do. Does not make sense unless they are doing things like for Christmas. If they came in here and said, well, let's do the marketing for during that time period where we are working on getting, every year they pay for the Charles Dickens carolers to come out. And we put so much money into that with the lights and stuff. If that was marketed for that, I'd be all in, but this is so broad, it doesn't, I'm afraid that throwing money at that, what they're wanting to do is useless. It doesn't help, there's nothing that is there to, you do a brochure, where you're gonna put those brochures, that's not enough money to go and do the online marketing to get it going. So it's unfortunately, it is not, the campaign is not there. There's no campaign in this. It's just saying marketing year round, and it's not, that's not what we are looking for to do funding. That's my 2 cents. Cause you do a lot of them.
I mean, again, my role here is to provide some context. I would say this is ambitious. They're looking for $7,500.
Yes.
If they were doing just Canva graphics and they were doing boosts with social media, that's doable, but a lot of this is.
They haven't thought it out.
Is ambitious.
Too, it's like print stuff.
It's not thought
It's
out.
expensive.
This is not thought out.
I think that perhaps doing some things that were more, again, like we keep talking about experiential with Dickens carolers, things like that, could be a better bang for their buck.
This unfortunately, I think they put together without really thinking about it. It was just a second thought because it is not well put together. There's no, like, they have some of these themed ideas, but they don't even know what they're doing. No, they don't have anything. They've not done anything for any of these. They cannot do what they're asking for, the 7,500, there's no way.
I mean, I wouldn't wanna see this group hold them to these things on this budget, whether there might be a match of dollars or they might be able to do it, but
We don't have.
that would be, it's ambitious. It's ambitious, but I also,
There are other funding sources, it's $2,000.
Yeah, they're still not gonna, this is like, this
Lord, what are your
unfortunately,
thoughts on it? I mean, you're in this realm.
You're right, it is ambitious. I guess I guess I'm looking at events too, and like, okay, we have Snoqualmie days. And then what other, I mean, there's holidays. Or not holidays,
No,
but.
it's not holidays.
No, that's us. But I mean, you do have
you have to have
your
events.
holiday, yeah. And I mean, who pays for the holiday in
Well,
downtown?
Or the city does.
Did they just not answer? Am I
That's not-
misreading that?
It's not done right, and it's
I would
unfortunately.
say, Lori, to answer your questions, like, in all honesty, much of this, I supplement,
Yes,
you know.
For the holiday, for the,
For the Halloween, I
Oh, for the
I
Halloween
do the
too.
marketing, I supplement some of the candy. For the holidays, for Strong Winter Lights, there's things that I supplement, so. Because I am trying to do marketing for the city as a whole.
oh, yeah.
And I try not to neglect the ridge, we try to do things, it's
Yeah.
just, it's more, it's a different.
Well, I guess, and the reason
Yeah.
why I'm asking is because that's. If the only real event that they're doing that they fund is Snoqualmie Days and
Mhm.
we're. Giving them a grant for Snoqualmie Days,
Mhm.
then,
Or I would say.
You know what I mean? Like,
No,
if
but
they
I
were
would say
paying
if
for
they're
Halloween,
getting
if they
this,
were
then
paying
maybe
for-
I don't need to use city funds to do that.
that's what I'm, yeah, I get, that's what I was
but
getting
it's
at.
not in there, and there's not
That's
listing.
kind of what I was getting at, you know,
Yeah.
cause like,
I don't wanna fund this.
I don't think it's very well thought of.
It's not.
For one, I'm a little bit suspicious of any advertising campaign that's focused heavily on print media, which
Yes,
is
agreed.
not efficacious in our experience any longer. You still have to do some of it, but.
yeah,
not
but
much.
not
Yeah.
Longer.
so much money into that.
Way it-
Wish she would have sent this to me beforehand so I could help her on some of this stuff, because it just doesn't. When you are doing marketing, and you know this as well, especially in our downtowns, you have to have event focused, you have to have reasons for people. You can't just say, come down to downtown Snoqualmie. Unless you're doing more of saying, these shops are new, open and different things like that are offering things. It just doesn't work. People have to have a reason, they have to have an ask. Jump to action. And that is not a jump to action.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like a good use of city funds.
You're saying part of this.
Yeah, there appears to be some questions unanswered.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I saw that.
They just did it quickly, I think.
So,
So what do you guys recommend?
No funding.
I don't recommend any funding for this one.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't impressed when I read through it before. I just felt that it needed to have a fair deliberation. They all should be treated fairly. She did go to the trouble of applying after all, and nobody else did.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it deserves funding.
so then that leaves this group $7,500 to reallocate to anything else if you'd like.
Or wait until next year. It's more money for next year or something in the spring.
Put in the savings account, carry it over.
Or something.
Yeah, because our year wasn't as good this year as it was last year, just so you know.
Well, and I'm also back to the other conversation.
Well, the money that we're getting this year, I think from you is current. I think we're current.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So this pays for the next.
This pays for.
but if you
okay.
had like a banner holiday season, maybe it's.
Well, tell you what, October's doing a lot better now because we've changed a lot of our
A
stuff.
lot of construction workers up at your place this month.
Oh my gosh, I know.
And
We had some really bad weather coming.
If I can just get that pass to close a few times.
I will, I promise you it will, I promise you it will.
We'll have it checking in for.
I might have some plow drivers needing a place to stay too.
So I
Okay,
would
so-
ask if you guys could put at least $2,500 more into the, to get us to 10,000 for that, it would make a huge difference. In what we could do for
How huge, Kelly?
it would be huge.
Yeah, still, you're asking to change the rules after the fact.
No, not the rules, to give additional funding. Cause we were not allowed to ask for more than 7,500. And we've done that before, we've done,
Per application, I guess.
Yes.
You could have put in two, I guess, but you know.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't wanna, because there's the appearance of conflict of interest of our involvement in the committee here.
you take
Kelly, I
them to
think
the city council.
I really feel,
I don't.
I feel really uncomfortable doing something.
No, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm efficient. I don't wanna stand up there and be like, oh, we did this, we did that. I mean, I feel like we have to go with these, okay, but don't you agree with me? We gotta go with, yeah. Cause it'd be you and me.
It's not that I don't feel that additional funding is justified for you, Kelly, so. There's just a procedure that should be used that doesn't have the appearance that we're feathering our own nests here. I think it's a very,
So I totally understand that, if I could have put, I mean, I would have put 20,000 requests on here on this because it's so important.
And that right there kind of proves why I had, and I'm not trying to be rude, but that's why I had to. In talking with staff, like, do this so that otherwise, then we'd be sitting here talking about 2 or 3 application or
With
one or two.
$20,000.
And then it just didn't seem
Yeah.
as deliberate or fair.
Well,
yeah, we're a much larger city now than we were, and I think some of my view of being involved in this for a long time is we just have to try to raise our bar in the way we perform as well too, because we just need to be seen and be doing the right thing. We can't. This has always made me uncomfortable in this whole situation.
I feel the same.
We value ethics highly at the museum. And of course, bending a rule is very different than breaking it. This is just a weird thing. If there's is there other funding that could possibly got for Kelly that's separate from going through this process that would top her up? That would be a different discussion, but.
Well, I think we have maybe shuffling some money around. Don't know if it works or not. Go
Yeah.
explore.
That would be.
And just, I think everyone should know that we do collaborate and talk about different grant fundings and try to leverage them and do the most. With.
I'm afraid that the funding may not come through.
I haven't heard anything.
I know, because the
Application.
federal part of their, they've had to cut
Mhm.
because they lost all the funding from Trump administration. And so I think we're gonna be in some world of hurt. So maybe putting the 7,500 back into for next year will be, I think we're not done. We are not done.
Or if there's three months into the new year, we see serious challenges, and knowing the important role that
Open it back
chamber
up.
plays, there can be a different public process that allows us to come back in and award funding, but it needs to be a public process where it's posted on the website, just so there's no suggestion, oh, well, those folks were on the committee and they just divvied up the money, and that's not the way. We can't afford that kind of perception, because it'll spoil it for all of us. The lodging tax thing is controversial at the best of times.
This year, it's going back up again in legislation, so yes.
So we need to be as clean as we can with it.
Well, yes, but also, we need the RCW, like we need more on here, because I don't think that's all of it that's supposed to be on what the following of the LTAC funds are. Because we don't follow a lot of the LTAC,
Well, we try to.
we try to, but I'm just saying we don't.
There's some
slippery slope, there's some interpretation. I think we follow it better than some cities do. I mean, some cities, some cities pay for city staff with it.
Yes.
In high, in high tourist
Mhm.
economies, they're paying for city staff, so.
Water bills.
It's a big, it's a big issue statewide. I don't have a proposed solution, but I'll say that both California and British Columbia spend meaningful amounts of money of the government funds for tourism, and it comes back many times over. And we don't.
No, we
I
don't.
think it shows.
It does, for sure, and I see that, and this year's gonna be even worse, they cut the Washington tourism budget. In most states, the tourism portion of the money that goes from the states are from 120 million up. We have 1.5 million that we use for tourism. 1.5 million. They had 3 million and they cut it. It just doesn't make sense. So we don't have this, our state is the worst about tourism, the worst.
Yeah, well,
Well,
When they got rid of, they got rid of.
really smart with how we.
I mean, I would feel comfortable putting that 7,500 in for next year and then maybe reevaluating it.
I mean, we could look at it in late winter, early spring, and if there was something, maybe we do like
Early
A
spring,
small one
maybe.
for, that could be World Cup centric.
Yeah,
I
or it's more for next year.
that could even be, that sounds like a great idea. It could even be,
Thank you.
you know, I give you credit lots of times. I just don't do it in front of you.
I was.
I'm teasing you, Bridget, but thank you.
Because that could be the whole basis of a potential funding of $7,500.
I mean,
World Cup marketing, that would be even late winter instead of the potential recipient or recipients, the opportunity to maybe spend the money in advance of the event.
Yeah. Okay, cause and maybe they'll get a little, maybe Lori's gonna have an awesome December and we'll have a little
Maybe.
dribble of a little bit more.
Maybe we can find a ways to get that funding from the other hotel.
I don't know how we do that.
I have an idea.
That's a whole other kettle of
I know, but I'm just saying,
Well,
we really have a huge issue here and with our tourists. They go to one location and they don't go anywhere else. And that's like going to the falls, they don't go anywhere else. They go to the different like Snoqualmie Point Park, we do not go anywhere else. It is a problem, it's a huge problem. 13.7 million, but I will say tourism was down 18% this year. So we only had like 10.7 million tourists here. And that made a big difference as well. And we have a difference in who's. So when we had the LTAC funds, doing all the marketing, we brought people, you probably can, I don't know, if we're ending that part, I can just tell you.
Yeah, shoot, so I guess we can adjourn the meeting at 5:22. So I will be taking this to, I think that's the December 4th council meeting. I don't anticipate
Any,
and
it'll go to F&A and then, I think I'll go. I haven't seen this thing.
then Russell,
I don't know. Well, you and I will fully support
it may
it.
even be consent.
it might. It might.
So,
It's not like it has been.
And then, I'll follow all the same procedures and notify you guys and do all that. And yeah, really enjoyed it. I really appreciate the feedback on the application and I'll try to do
And
better
close it.
next year.